Hello students, today we are going to study grammar, and in that part we are going to study about sentences. Now, the sentences today, the topic that we are going to study about is the interrogative sentences. So, please be with me. Have a look at this. Now, when we talk about sentences, what do you understand by sentence? A sentence is a set of words that contain a subject. And what does the subject talk about? What the sentence is about, the topic of sentence, and a predicate is like a verb, which means what is said about the subject. There are 4 types of English sentences classified by their purpose. One is declarative sentence, which is just a statement. The second type is interrogative sentence, which are often the questions. The third is imperative sentence. That means when the commands or the requests have been made. And the last, the fourth is exclamative sentence, which ends with exclamation. Now, so as we are going to study about interrogative sentences, I am just going to give you some sentences. Have a look at this. She was determined to lead a normal life. He had published his general theory of relativity. Now, just I read 2 sentences, and you can see that these both the sentences are declarative sentences. They are just talking about something, and they are in positive. Okay, there is no negation made. Whereas sentence number 3 and 4, have a look at this now. His words did not fail to have an effect. I do not recall the exact number of people she fed every day. So these two sentences are in negative. So have a look at this. Before I could go, I just want to explain to you something about interrogative sentences. When you turn the sentences into interrogative, first and foremost, I told you interrogative sentences are sentences which ask us the questions. And what type of questions? They could be WH questions. For example, where do you live? What is your name? Why are you crying? How old are you? So students, they can be WH questions. They also can be questions which start with the auxiliary verbs. We are going to study it now. But in the interrogative sentences, if the sentences are positive, then you turn them to negative. And if the sentences are negative, then you turn them into positive. Just now we read the 4 sentences. And we saw the 2 sentences were positive and the 2 were negative. While converting them into interrogative, as I said, you begin with the auxiliary verb or the helping verb. And therefore, if the sentence is positive, you will make it into negative and begin. Your auxiliary verb or the predicate will be first, followed by subject, and the sentence will end with question mark. Make sure that you start the sentence with auxiliary verb, which I am going to show it to you now. Don't forget to add a question mark at the end of the sentence. Question mark, if you have forgotten to write, then your mark is cut. In short, interrogative sentences are the ones that ask us questions. They can be WH type of questions or the questions starting with auxiliary verbs. So, let's go back to what we were studying. Now, I told you about the sentences.
Bring your water bottles as you come to the library. After that, I don't want anybody moving out from there.
Now, so students, have look at this. These are the 4 sentences. She was determined to lead a normal life. As I told you, find out the verb, auxiliary verb, helping verb. Over here, was determined. Determined is a verb, but was is a helping verb. And so therefore, you will turn into negative. Wasn't she determined to lead a normal life? Question tag. You will end the sentence with a question mark. He had published his general theory of relativity. Had is a helping verb over here, auxiliary. Hadn't he published his general theory of relativity? Just have a look at these sentences. Now, first one I said, wasn't she determined to lead a normal life? And the question tag. Hadn't he published his general theory of relativity? When you give the answer, how will your answer be? Yes, she was determined to lead a normal life. Or, he had published his general theory of relativity. You got me, students? What I have been teaching you? Let's go back to the question number 3. His words did not fail to have an effect. Now, this is a negative sentence, therefore, you will remove not and will try to make it into positive. You will bring the auxiliary verb front and you will start with the auxiliary verb saying that, didn't his words fail to have an effect? Question tag. I do not recall the exact number of people she fed every day. Remove that not. Okay, remove that not. Begin the sentence with do. Do I recall the exact number of people she fed every day? And we'll end with the question tag. So look, did his word fail to have an effect? Do I recall the exact number of people she fed every day? Have a look at these sentences. You see that in all 4 sentences, there is a question mark behind. And I told you, your sentence ends with a question mark. These are the interrogative sentences. They always ask us the question. If the question begins with negative verb or the auxiliary verb, your answer will end with yes, positivity. Okay, let's have a look at the sentences, some more sentences. Here, turn into interrogative sentences. The sun rises in the morning. It's a positive sentence. The sun rises in the morning. Therefore, which is the verb over here? Rises. The rises does rise. So therefore, when you start writing, how will you write into negative? Doesn't the sun rise in the morning? You will end with a question tag or question mark. There are 7 days in a week. Aren't there 7 days in a week? Question mark. He lagged behind. Lagged is a past tense of lag. Therefore, did lag will make lagged. So your sentence will begin with, didn't he lag? Ed will come out. Ed will come out. And didn't he lag behind? And a question mark. Remaining 4, 5, 6, 7 is your homework. Students, I suppose you have understood about interrogative sentences. I am going to stop the class over here. I suppose you know what are the rules I told you over here. Do not forget to add a question mark at the end of the sentence. Your sentence, your answer always begins with the auxiliary verb. Then you also have WH type of questions or questions starting with auxiliary verb. I am going to stop a class over here. Have a good day. Please do let me know about your answers. You have to write your answers and whatever we have studied now in the class write it into Fairbook. Have a good day.